right, welcome back to Hicks Racing Podcast, Episode 5. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Matt.
And our sponsors are Woody's Ale House and Grill in Towanda, PA, AOT Racing, Hicks RV Repair, and MR Dirt Inc. And today's episode is special because we have my brother, the wonderfully famous sprint car driver, Dustin Prettyleaf, on.
Hello, everyone. I am much more older and more handsome than my sister.
So tell us, Dustin, about what your racing is right now and sponsors and anything else you want to talk about.
So currently in 2022, I am running a 305 sprint car at Clinton County Speedway every other Friday night. And in between, we are racing go-karts still like we've been for the last 32 years. In between every other weekend or whenever we fall with money races and whatsoever. So
how long have you been racing a sprint car?
this will be our second full season in the sprint car at Clinton County.
Okay. How'd you get involved initially with that? Because I honestly don't remember how you did that.
Well, I met some friends, a local team, through a friend of ours, Roan Racing out of Williamsport, PA, and got hooked up with them. They have a 360 sprint car, and they run in New York with the Patriot Sprint Tour, and was helping them out with tires and learning some setup stuff, which is a lot different than I'm used to, and got into helping them, and it evolved into them asking me to drive a 305 sprint car. So I just developed into that, and here we are currently in our second season. We had a good year last year, learned a lot, so we'll see what happens at the end of 2022.
What is your how are you liking it so far compared to like that? Because we've go-kart raced. We're gonna get into this, but we've go-kart raced for a long time. How does it compare to sprint cars, and do you like it more, or is it completely different? You can't even compare.
It's completely different. Okay. A lot of people told me when I first got into it, they drive like a go-kart. I disagree with that. They do not. They drive a lot different, and being on the throttle is the way to drive them. Mm-hmm. That's how they're going to handle. And I've learned that over the last season. It took me about 3/4 of the season to get comfortable, and now I feel much more comfortable than I did to start last year.
Because you were Rookie of the Year last year. Yes. For Clinton County.
Yep. I also was, I believe, most improved driver for the Laurel Highland Sprint Car Series, which is the Pennsylvania sanctioning.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Very cool.
That's awesme. So
you're gonna work Matt in here?
Yeah, he's being quiet right now.
I'm just listening.
He's crippled right now.
I'm not crippled now.
Matt hurt his eye, so he's crippled right now. You better get that figured out.
Watch out. The eye has a lot to do with the mouth.
So, when did you... I kind of wanted to dive into when we started go-kart racing. Obviously, you were born a trillion years before me. So, how old were you when you... How old were you when you started?
I was, according to what Dad has told us, I was 4.
Okay.
When I started practicing. I started racing when I was 5, which was 1990 or 91, depending on how it fell.
And that was at Hughesville?
Yes, Hughesville Raceway, Hughesville, PA. Started out on asphalt. Ran there for about... You never ran there, but
no,
I ran there for about 10, 12 years. I believe it was 2002 or 3 is when we started doing dirt racing. Went to Sealands Grove.
Was it really that
Millville, Greenwood Valley Action Track.
Gosh, it feels like that was like forever and a day ago.
And then from there, continued on.
So Dad raced before you were born. Mm-hmm. Was he still racing? He was still racing when you were racing.
Yep, he ran in 2 cycles and some 4-cycle stuff when I was starting out in cage karts.
I guess for the people wondering, this is a little off our normal topic.
Yes,
we are getting. We're just trying to have a little off weekend here. We thought maybe we'd dive into how both of our families got started in the racing in general, and just something a little different.
Yeah, I'm more into 4 wheels. You guys are too.
Yeah, yep. Well, we also have completely different backgrounds. Matt didn't grow up racing, and we. That's
we did.
I mean like your
stock
mom
car. No, right.
No, I'm just saying like when you were a kid.
Right. Yep. So
it's completely different. So. And Dad was, so for reference, our dad's name is Ted. So we don't keep saying Dad, because the people know. How many times, he was track champion, how many times?
You have to interview him and ask
him. Come on, Dad, get back down here. My dad's upstairs.
I want to say, I believe if I were correct, I believe he has the record for 7 in a row.
I thought so. He was fast.
He won 7 in a row track championships in the 2-cycle division, which is one of the most competitive divisions in Hughesville.
Yeah, I remember it used to be full fields there.
So you guys did that same. You guys did have how many years did you guys race at the same time? Well, you know.
Dad and I?
Yeah, you guys raced together. I guess not.
Too long, was it?
He was probably up through 99. No, 2001.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know it was that long.
So-
He
few
might not
years.
have ran it every week at that point.
Mhm.
And then he...
Was that because
once
of-
we went dirt racing, he didn't run every week.
And why did he stop? That's something I think about. I don't. You know, well, I guess John. I guess I do race same time John. You know, at the same time and John does, and I'm looking forward to hoping that I'll still be racing if Lucas actually does race. So just what made him decide to stop racing?
I know he had a pretty significant neck injury from racing at 2 cycles at Hughesville. And then, but that was in
I was gonna say.
97-ish.
So he dealt with that for a while, and he's had neck issues ever since.
And then I think when we started dirt racing, there was just so much more involved, and we had a lot more traveling, and there's a lot more work involved as far as at the racetrack in between runs, where there was 2 or 3 of us already racing, and another one just wasn't feasible. And he was, you know, the crew chief
Plus
Right.
the money.
for everything.
Yeah.
He, you know, had to make sure everybody else's stuff was in line. I think he enjoyed that more anyway.
Yep.
As far as
Yeah,
being the crew chief
he does
rather
do
than
it like
being in
that,
the
so.
seat.
And do the lower classes in the carts pay anything? Pay
At
money?
the bigger races, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's many times I've seen rookie purple plate, which is 5 to 8 year olds pay $1,000 to win.
Really?
Yep.
Yep.
That's
You
crazy.
don't, you don't get that in our.
There's significant money races throughout the country in kart racing, a lot down south. That's where the heart of it is. I mean, if you can compete down south weekly and be in the top 5, that's the place.
Yeah.
You're showing that you got muscle.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
Yeah.
So he stopped racing for strategic reasons, and plus his neck injury was.
Yeah.
Why did we stop racing at Hughesville and decide to go dirt track racing?
There was some.
And I say we because I was like, how old was I at this time? Like 7
Yeah.
ish.
And you were just getting ready to start.
Yeah, so I wasn't really involved with any of these decisions.
It was a great place to start racing. It outgrew itself, and
Okay.
there was only so much you could do down there as far as facility and parking, and
Mhm.
it got to the point where there wasn't a whole lot of room, and there was some political stuff that went on.
And it always is, yeah.
And we just decided it was time to move on. And I believe they ran 1 or maybe 2 more seasons before it folded up.
Yeah.
It just wasn't. There was only so much property there, and it was already too big for what it was.
Yeah, it wasn't a very big
No.
facility at all. I mean, I remember going there. I don't remember
Mm.
because I used to go to my aunt's house and she would babysit me. But then when I was old enough, I would go to the track, and I remember running around and seeing everybody and
Yep.
talking to people. And I had friends there, and Mom worked in the stand.
Mhm.
So that's where we spent every weekend, pretty much.
Yeah.
Which is no matter what kind of racing you do, that's the cool thing is, you know, it always turns into a family, you
Oh.
know, an extended family, no matter whether it's dirt bike racing or kart racing or stock car racing. I mean,
Yeah, motorsports is
Yeah.
very
yeah, family
Family-oriented,
oriented,
yes.
yeah.
The only thing that's different is with Hughesville. I mean, those are people you see every weekend because you're always at
Yep.
that track. When you go
It's the
dirt
same
track
thing.
racing, you're gonna meet new people, which is cool. But you're not always gonna see everybody every weekend. You're all over the place, all over the country sometimes.
Yeah.
Well.
yeah, yeah. But we used to travel a lot, and over the last few years we've decided not to cost for one,
Mhm.
and just there's so many other things going on. You just don't have the time.
Well, they have a lot of money races for carts
Yes,
that
they
pay
do.
out a decent amount. I mean, with dirt bikes, you don't see that at all. It doesn't
Yeah.
exist.
Yeah,
Not on
we
the amateur
generally
side.
Race for if we're racing, it's usually for a minimum of 500 to win.
Right,
You
which
know,
is
but-
worth it because then it pays for the fuel if you win, and there's a chance.
Well, barely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, especially now. So when you started dirt bike racing, when you started dirt track racing,
I tried riding dirt bikes.
Yeah, he sure did.
He tried.
Over the
He
back,
tried
he
to
went.
get on my 150 and busted
It was
his
whiskey
balls.
throttle one of them.
Keep it on 4 wheels.
Yeah.
I
So-
will not deny that.
when we went dirt track racing, where did we we started at Selinsgrove, and did we mainly race there and kind of stick to there, or did we do a couple different ones? And
I would say it was Selinsgrove and a combination of Millville, Greenwood Valley.
I remember it being at Millville
You
quite a
ran
bit.
more Greenwood Valley.
Yep. I ran
we-
Selinsgrove maybe 2 times.
Yeah, we would run there on some Friday nights, but mainly for probably the first 2 seasons, or so, we ran mainly Greenwood Valley when they were getting a very, very good turnout.
That was,
in the
yeah,
kart
they had a
races.
huge, it's for reference, Greenwood Valley Action
Yep,
Tracks,
Millville, I think it's Orangeville, Pennsylvania.
Orangeville, Pennsylvania. Yeah, because I remember there was always a decent amount in each class.
Now, does that track still run?
Yes, they still have kart divisions, but mainly they're a micro track, 270,
Okay.
600.
And they started to get
shots.
into that, like, towards the end of when we, like, stopped going there.
Yep, they ran the micros
Yeah.
then, but they really, I wouldn't say pushed the kart program out, but they really developed a lot of micro divisions as
Yeah.
far as how many they were getting.
Yeah, they were getting
So
a lot.
They kind of dwindled the kart program a little bit.
Which I understand because, you know, you have people coming there for that. They're gonna
Yeah.
develop a microsprint program. So I haven't been there in years, but we race there pretty much every Saturday. And when did I start racing? How old was I?
That is a fantastic question.
I know.
I would say
I feel like I'm like
probably
90 years old.
2003 or 4.
Really? That early?
Well, you ran rookie purple.
Yeah,
plate,
10, 11, yeah. Yeah, because I was in purple plate, and then we went up to
You worked
blue.
and then gold. We
And
ran
gold.
gold when you went to Penn. We started running Penns Creek in
Yep.
2006.
Which and Penns Creek, yeah, we started racing at Penns Creek more often, which is Penns Creek Raceway Park in,
Penns Creek, yeah.
is it Penns Creek, PA? Okay.
Yeah. Just outside Mifflinburg.
Yep. I like that track.
Yes.
And they still
very
run
good drivers
karts.
track. Yes, they get a very good turnout on Saturday nights.
Yeah.
Which
is-
done
yeah, that's
a
good.
lot with the facility.
Really?
The surface is very, very top notch now.
Awesome.
When's the last time you guys been there?
Actually, we'll be going there Saturday,
Uh,
May 14th, 2022.
Is that a money race next weekend?
It is not. We are doing some testing with a new go-kart
Okay.
that we just got for 2022.
And what is that new go-kart?
That is a
If you're allowed to.
Magnum Racing Chassis Sniper, which is the model,
Uh-huh.
2022 Champ Kart. It's the very first Champ Kart ever built
Nice.
by Andy Lazaration out of Marion Center, PA.
Nice. Okay. And he chose you to test that.
Yeah, we've talked.
Something you've been
about-
doing for a while with this guy, haven't you?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
been on his stuff for probably 5 years now.
And you like
On his
it,
flat kart.
obviously.
Yes. Very forgiving go-kart. Very nice guy to work with. Calls you up, always wants to know how you're doing. If you need anything, any questions, what do you
Mhm.
think about maybe making a change on the chassis this way, that way. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to do some more testing with it. We had it out once, found a couple things we need to work on,
Okay.
which we knew it was going to,
Right.
part
First
of, it's
part of
the
the season,
test.
yeah.
Feel very confident going into Saturday night that we're going to have another good test session and get ready for some big money races this year.
I was gonna say, you know the money races you're going to.
Yeah.
What money races do you have planned for the rest of the year with that?
Well, we're going to hit, there's a couple races out at Snydersville Raceway, a couple thousand to wins.
How
we-
far is Snydersville from here?
About 2 hours. Stroudsburg, PA.
Okay. Oh, okay.
There is the West End Fairgrounds.
Yep,
That'll
heard
be
of that
on
one.
Monday, which is usually big money on the line, a lot of good go-karts.
I know, we want to go to that, and it's just a horrible day.
It's a very long day and
Yeah.
night.
I might be able to go just because I work from home, but.
We usually, if we're lucky enough to be in tech, we usually clear tech about 3 a.m. and
Oh
get
my
home
God, that's
and
insane.
Get home and go to work.
But what's the payout on that?
That's usually 1,000 and everything.
Okay, so it's
So,
pretty decent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have your chassis right now, and then how many carts do you have right now for this season?
We have 4 in the shop right now.
Okay, and how many you're planning on utilizing all 4?
Yeah, at some point. We have one Champ Kart we might eventually sell and get another flat cart.
Okay.
We're still in the process of figuring out what the season's going to bring.
Why do you want to do that?
Just we're testing the new one.
Okay.
Want to make sure everything works out. The old one's been really good to us, so it's one of those sentimental things. It's won a lot of money shows. Don't really want to get rid of it yet.
Right, you might as well keep it while it works.
Yeah, but I think the new one's going to be a lot better.
Okay.
So just got to get ourselves rolling with it, and what the weather ever breaks, where we can actually get a good, decent,
Yeah, it's early in the year.
decent run.
Mm-hmm.
Not chase the weather all week, and it rains for 4 days, and then you go racing.
Right. Okay, so when's your next sprint car race?
We race next Friday, the 13th. At
Okay. Okay, because you're supposed to race.
Not really excited about racing on Friday the 13th.
We'll be rooting for you. We'll say
We'll be in
knock on
We'll
wood
be in
all over the
Palmyra
place, and we'll
that night.
So, and do you have any sponsors like specifically for your sprint car that?
We do. You have to call me out on that when I don't have a list of them.
You can give it a shot. Like give me 2 or 3.
We have Web Weekly, Grant's Classic Cars, Roan Real Estate.
Hashtag
Moon
his
City
wife.
Brewery.
His wife is sitting over there
Yeah, she
giving
is.
him giving him input so he doesn't forget anything.
There's a handful of other ones I can't remember.
Okay,
offhand,
but those are the big ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
I apologize to anyone that I forgot.
It's got to be a night and day difference between the sprint car and a KART. I'm assuming. I mean, there's
Yes, it was.
you're no suspension on a KART and
Yep.
full suspension on
the
a.
first time we ran, it was the car will not turn. Like if you go down straightaway on the throttle and you left the throttle getting in the corner, a car does not want to turn. They're made to be on the throttle.
That's interesting.
Yep, or be at least in the throttle, not necessarily full throttle, but
So it's going to turn
they're-
easier when you're.
Yep, they're made to drive off the right rear tire. That's
Okay.
why that right rear
Yeah.
tire is
So much
105
bigger.
inches around.
Right.
Right.
So that took me a long time to commit to.
To finally comprehend that, like,
just
Yeah,
go
and that's
in
that's you know that's how right along with dirt bike racing. You going when you're racing, you commit or you don't commit, and
Yep.
and the commitment is where you win or lose. I mean,
Yep. And
Right, there's a lot of-
sometimes it bites you. But
yeah,
Going like
yep.
that. So you're going to possibly a 360 next season.
Yes,
What major differences are you gonna possibly see?
about 1.5 times the horsepower.
And then are you worried about it? Are you okay with it?
And how many horsepower is this?
Our 305 is roughly 500.
Okay.
The 360 is about 750,
Jesus.
760, depending on.
What's a 410 then?
They say? I don't know for sure. But I've heard rumors of 950-ish,
Jesus.
which is a massive power to weight ratio when we're talking 1,400 pounds sprint car
Right.
with me in it.
Right.
Or, 1,500 pounds with me in it.
Right.
The power to weight ratio is insane. Like,
Okay.
it's amazing with no transmission or anything, with drive shaft going right between your legs. When you touch the throttle, it is there. There's
What-
no delay.
What's the track that you guys were at? It's right up. It's not actually right. We'll go right by the sign for it when we go down our way to Palmyra on Friday. I can't think of the name of it. Black Rock. Does that sound right?
Well, it used to be Outlaw. Or,
Outlaw,
I'm sorry,
that's- it is Outlaw.
It used to be Black Rock.
Used to be
and
Black Rock.
Dundee.
Dundee.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that would
Yep.
be one of the places we would run the 360.
Yeah.
The train sprint car, just drop your mic.
Sorry people. Fuck that up.
You have to unmute it though.
I fucked it up again. I'm the owner. I
It's
fucked
not
it up.
exactly a. This is our professional. This over here.
This is, what is it, a jankety podcast?
Yeah, jankety
It's a little
podcast.
bit more jankety than Paul. Yeah. So
Three TV nightstands.
I know. Hey, listen, last week we went off of 2 camping chairs and a table. And it worked.
It makes it fun.
So you're moving up 360, like, so
Potentially, yes.
besides that power concern, like driving wise, you're comfy with that. You're not too worried
At
about
this
it.
last year at this time, no, it would not have been.
Okay.
This year, I feel confident.
You look good when I watched it the other weekend on the because
Yeah,
your
we'll
wife
learn.
Jen goes live.
It's learning what to do for track conditions.
Well, yeah, I mean that's pretty much everybody's.
I'm not nervous with the 360. I feel confident that
You got a whole another year though. I mean,
Yeah.
so you have another year of learning before you have to
Yep.
The
tackle
goal
that. So.
is, which we don't know if it's going to work out, the goal would be to possibly get the 360 on track once this year, just to get my feet wet.
Okay.
Mhm.
But it's going to depend on, there's a new car coming, if that'll work out in fall, and
Yep.
there's so many variables there.
So why did they want to decide to move from 305 to 360 so soon?
Well, basically the 305 is, I don't want to
It's a beginner's class,
I don't want
right?
to say an entry level
Right.
division, because there is
Right, there's people that
very,
just
there
yeah.
is very
There's-
very good competition out
Right.
there.
Right,
Oh, yeah.
and there's people that probably just race 305 because it's a little more inexpensive.
Yep.
The motor's a little more
Inexpensive,
inexpensive.
quote,
Yeah,
quote.
you can
Yeah, comparatively. I
you
mean,
can build a 305 for 15-20 grand.
right.
Still, that's
You know,
insane.
20 grand.
Which is still a lot of money, but
Yeah.
a 360 you're looking at 35-40.
And
Right.
that's just that much more. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they don't get near the runs on them.
Yep.
There's but the quality of product and price pieces is much better.
Right.
Right.
Back to your question about the 305, he wanted to get me my feet wet.
Mhm.
360 is what he's always loved and done.
Okay, so
They
that's
did
his
four-
that's
they've
his
always done open
expertise.
sprint car stuff.
Okay.
Back in the day, you could run open sprint car like at Clinton County, and he'd run, his open at, Wayne's Grove, Salem's Grove, wherever, travel with the Outlaws through New York in the 90s. And
Okay. Now, does Sealands Grove do 360 racing? Okay.
Not a ton,
but you
do
can go.
some.
I'm excited for that one.
We would
I'm excited for that.
possibly go down there at some point.
Dustin, you have to go down there.
The hard part about that is the place is very hard on rubber.
It is, but here's the thing. Like, that's the track we grew up with. That's like, it was a big time track.
But maybe Hicks Racing Podcast could sponsor
Well, I have $50.
How far will that get us?
We'll write him a check.
Yeah,
we'll write that shit.
We take checks.
No, I think that'd be awesome to watch you at Sealands Grove. I like Clinton County, but like Sealands Grove is the big half-mile speedway. Like, it's amazing. It's fun to watch.
I don't think I'm quite ready for that.
No, but eventually we're gonna do that. We're gonna
maybe in the 305.
Listen to it. We're gonna do that.
Yeah, and then we'll work our way up to 410s,
Oh.
and then
And like I said, Hicks Racing can be on the way.
for $25, give me a little sticker, like
I don't think
somewhere
on the inside of the
put it on the bottom of your shoe. Put Hicks Racing. If they give me $25. So okay, so you're going to the 360s.
People are gonna listen to this and shake their heads.
I know, right? It's like, listen, we're struggling here. So 360s is kind of where now, if you had to make a choice between, if someone said you can only race one, you can only race go-karts, you can only race your 305, which one would you pick?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Because I'm not gonna. I love them both still,
Mhm.
and I really think that they help each other a lot. Last year we had one of our best seasons in kart racing because the karting is much more. There's a lot more as far as tire work.
Oh, yeah.
And tires are so important.
You're always doing
And
that.
setup. I mean, setup's important.
But
tires-
things are happening so much faster in a sprint car. They gotta be.
absolutely.
So it's getting your eye-hand coordination that much better for when you're in that cart.
Yep.
It's almost gotta be almost. I don't want to say slow motion, but it's a lot slower.
Right.
Things are happening a lot slower.
So your
you're
reaction
reacting a
time's
lot
better.
quicker.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
they helped each other
Yeah.
big time. And it took, like I said, with the go-kart racing with tires and the amount of work involved each week as far as the tires and changing stuff and, even getting tires, trying to get stuff to keep your rotation of rubber on date codes and et cetera.
Yep.
The break in between a week or two with the sprint car really helped give us just a mental break.
Mhm.
Got us, okay, we're going to race in 2 weeks here. Well, we race a sprint car next week, good. We don't have to worry about karting stuff. We can get ready for the sprint car next week.
Right.
We still work on the stuff, but, you're not racing.
Yeah.
In the sprint
You don't have to
car,
worry
just
about
broke
running
that
everything
up,
around,
and
yeah.
I really think they both, and vice versa,
Yeah.
gave us time to, every other week with the sprint car really helps too. Gives you time to do your maintenance or anything you got to fix,
Like I say, maintenance on that. Which one's worse on maintenance?
Sprint cars are made, that's why the World of Outlaws, they're made to be on the road. They're made to be maintenance after you wash them in the parking lot.
Okay.
That's why they're rotating and running, 5 days a week.
Okay.
Well, they're pieces. Everything's interchangeable. Everything's a piece. Everything's a made piece. You know what I'm saying? That's
Sprint cars have not changed
right.
as far as the design with torsion bars for
Right. Spindles,
30
the torsion bar, spindle, how bolts
Maybe
the
evolved
axle.
As far as quality of parts, I'd say.
Yeah.
They have all kinds of different drive shaft bearings, bird cages. But as far as what their design and the way their geometry works, has not
Right.
changed in 30 years.
Right.
I think
Maybe very, very little,
we should get you on the World of Outlaw tour.
Okay,
That would be.
once again,
That would be.
Yeah, listen
I told
to
you, bottom of the
Listen
shoe.
to
We'll
her.
give you a sticker. That would be sick. That would be sick. Jen can do your merch.
What?
We can do your.
Do you want decals?
Yeah, no, decals and shirts, okay? And then, we can work on some. That'll be great. That'll be awesome. Support you.
We need subscribers.
Yeah. Please subscribe to Hick Racing Podcast so we can sponsor Dustin in his endeavors. We need to raise that $25 for that sticker on the bottom of his shoe.
This is funny sitting here looking at three people with microphones that are lit up in front of them.
I know.
I've never done this before.
Plus, we have an audience of one. That's making me nervous. I'm waiting for her to bring a tomato out of her pocket and throw it out. You guys suck. Okay, well, I just wanted to, kind of dive into racing as we grew up and how you're racing now. And
then how far? When did you stop racing, Jessica?
I was 15, I think. So
Yeah.
03 to 08. 08 was when I started high school, so yeah, that sounds about right.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, I got into high school and I was getting
Boys and
hopefully to get back on the track at some point in time on a dirt bike. Hopefully.
Excuse me, I
but-
practiced twice this week.
Yeah, just practicing,
I
but
practiced
actually,
twice
I mean,
this week
racing.
and worked out 4 days this week. Thank you very much. So, all right, well.
Or are you enjoying riding?
Yeah, it's
Right.
just so it's twofold. Right now I need to lose like 20 pounds to have more
We can all do
endurance.
that.
Well, right, but to have more endurance. So I'm okay with once that's down, which I've lost 6. So I'm watching what you eat, working out 4 days a week. Today didn't help, but I didn't eat much for lunch. Just trying to. Of course, my mom made burgers and mac and cheese for dinner, so
I'm
it
pretty
freaking
sure I
help.
saw you eat a piece of chocolate cake and peanut butter icing.
No, I had a bite. I took a fork. And I had, if you look at the corner of the cake, it has one bite out of it. I was like, I just got to taste it just one time. So yeah, I've been on twice this week. I went back onto the 150 actually.
Oh, okay.
I got out of the 250 because that
Uncomfortable?
that thing's a pain in the ass to start. It's just discouraging, you're sitting there like for 15 minutes trying to start and turn it over.
Well, talk to your kids.
He's done everything, and it's just the way it
It's
is.
just hard.
It's
to
an older
ride a kid.
bike.
Yeah, it's an older bike. It starts
and-
good for what it starts good. Actually, starts good for what it is.
And his 450 is just a ton of
Well,
power
you
for
feel
me.
more comfortable on the 150.
Yeah, I'd like to
Your
get a
confidence will
newer
come up, and then
250.
Yeah, very
you
good
got
newer
one
250.
Yeah, so I did ride the 150 twice this week. So
It's good.
the only issue I have is that I get arm pumps so bad.
Yeah.
And it's just because I get so tightened up, so I had to focus on
Breathe.
squeeze my legs, breathe, and try to be
Loose.
so but that's all I was concentrating on. I can only concentrate on so many things, like squeeze your legs. It's like I can't ride because I'm concentrating on squeezing my legs and being loose up top. Can't do it. So anyway, it was 2 days of that. I rode for half an hour, but it burns a ton of calories though. So that helped. But hopefully we'll be making some more progress.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you for being on our podcast.
Well, I appreciate the invite, and thank you guys for asking me to come on.
You do not appreciate the invite. You bitched about
I
it for a
didn't.
while. I drug you down here by your
I'm
non-hair.
gonna be really disappointed if you tell me when we're done with this and didn't record.
Oh yeah. All right. Until next time.
Well, let's we'll be
Oh, no?
we'll be at Palmyra
Oh, okay,
this
my bad,
coming
sorry.
weekend, and they can catch
Matt's
us there.
favorite track.
And we'll see how it goes. It's a nice facility for
If you
sure.
don't have an eye patch by then.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll be there this weekend.
Yeah, Palmyra with
Yep.
John. So we're gonna have 4 classes again this weekend.
I think he's only gonna do one class.
No?
We're
Okay.
gonna do one class. I'll do 2.
Okay, that sounds good because you need to get ready for Loretta.
Yep, and then we'll get ready for the regional. We're not getting ready for Loretta's.
I think so.
So
And then Dustin is up. Where are you going this weekend? Again.
We'll be at Clinton County on Friday night
Okay,
and
sorry.
Penns Creek on Saturday night.
Okay. So watch out for Dustin and all of his racing endeavors. So now you have all kinds of racing to watch, people. So
yeah, so I guess
All right. Until next time.
peace out.
Bye.